What are your thoughts on John Cena versus Randy Orton at TLC?
Okay, I'm for it. We haven't seen it in about 3-4 years, so I'm okay with it as far as it happening. I think the problem is that you can't, with a realistic mind, expect this to have a legit finish at this show, especially so close to WrestleMania. So I think what's holding a lot of people back from really getting excited about this, and WWE did this, they created this monster, is you're going to get some sort of false finish, whether it's they grab each other's belt, whatever the case is. I can't see them, especially going into the taped Raw run that they do for Christmas and New Year's, and especially with what they're advertising for MSG the night after Christmas. It's just not going to happen, and I think that's what a lot of people, or some people at least, are down about with this, is that there's that anticipation that they're not going to deliver here. So that's my only thing, is that I don't expect it to have a legit finish.
Do you think we'll have a finish where one guy grabs each belt somehow and they pull him down simultaneously, and then we don't know what the hell is going on? You think it'll be something along those lines?
No, I think you're going to get. I think you're just going to get. I will buy into the whole Cena grabs the WWE title, Orton ends up grabbing the world title, and that's where they go from there. That's safe enough. I could see it, and the biggest loser in all this could end up being the Royal Rumble winner, because I could see Orton and Cena carrying those belts, and right after elimination, I could see them both saying that they want to do it. They want to settle this, and then finally that's when Triple H, Stephanie, and whoever else, they give in, and that's it happens at WrestleMania.
So you're basically saying that they're not going to unify the titles at TLC. They're going to wait all the way until April for WrestleMania. Will, TLD Vastida, Will, man, what are your thoughts on what John proposed? I mean, to think that WWE can carry this angle to unify the titles all the way until WrestleMania, what do you think about that?
No, I just can't imagine that. Then the Royal Rumble would be completely worthless at that time, because what's that? I think a triple threat idea will kind of put down the idea of unifying the two titles. I think they're doing it simply to get a buy rate out of TLC and the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania, even though it would be great to see that kind of match at a WrestleMania level, it's already too soon. They're already bringing it up. I think TLC or the Royal Rumble or the Chamber is the right way to unify that title. It makes the Royal Rumble winner even more important, because for the last how many years now, 10 years, they get to choose what champion they face, and then pretty much the other person who won the Chamber pretty much now got the opportunity, which I think, if anything, the Chamber is the one that's going to get the hurt, because now there is no Chamber match to give anybody anything. So I don't know what they're going to do about the Chamber. I think TLC is going to be, I think a ladders match is a great match to do it with, as far as causing controversy or, having a winner. And they might just swerve us and say they might just have a winner out of this. This might be it. And either Randy Orton or John Cena wins the Rumble and they have the match again at WrestleMania. But we don't know. I mean, it's very hard. A lot of people can't determine what's going on at WrestleMania time. There is no Rock anymore, as we all thought there would be, and obviously they're trying to get other names involved at WrestleMania. But I think this is fine for right now. This is the only selling match you have for TLC. What other match could you sell right now that would make it worth buying?
Yeah, you know what? You got a great point there. For some reason, I'm just not buying in to the whole John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania match. I don't think that's going to happen. I still think WWE is somehow, some way poisoning Daniel Bryan or CM Punk to be involved in that eventual unified title picture. JCD, your response to what Will was saying.
I'll give you exactly how the Rumble winner's not worthless. You have what you call it. Here's what you do, and with 4 hours you can do this. Orton Cena to unify the titles at about hour 2 at WrestleMania. Whoever wins the Rumble faces the winner of that in the actual main event.
Okay, so now let me get what you're saying. Are you kind of saying something along the lines of what took place at WrestleMania 10, where they had kind of like a series of matches? I think that's actually a pretty good idea. To kind of go back to that concept, it was one of those deals where WWE really hasn't done that much. I mean, they kind of did it with when they unified the titles for the first time with Jericho, Angle, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. You could even do that with whoever wins the Chamber then. You could do 3 matches then. You could do the Rumble winner versus one champion, the Chamber winner versus the other champion, and the winner of those 2 matches come back at the end of the night and unify the titles. You don't have to do them 3 straight back-to-back like they did at that pay-per-view, but you could do something like that, so therefore your Royal Rumble's not cheapened and the Elimination Chamber still has some value to it.
It's a solid idea. TLD, what are your thoughts on John's proposal for kind of that WrestleMania 10 concept?
I like the WrestleMania 10 concept. I think even now with the talent they have, they could do that kind of match where they have people that could go the whole night. You know, I thought it was great. I mean, they had what made that work so well was they built up a feud between the 2 brothers. That was just alone a WrestleMania match, and it was the first time that ever occurred where a brother fought a brother in a WrestleMania match. And then on top of it, Lex Luger still trying to become, the heavyweight champion, which he kept failing at. And Bret, at the end of the night, after losing a match, came back and won the big title. I mean, I was great. I was there. I loved it. It was one of the best concept ideas. They have to make sure, though, if they're going to have, whoever's going to be in the last match has to have 1 match beforehand. I just think that's only the fair way of doing it. But I don't know. We don't know until after TLC where this is going to be going. I mean, I wouldn't be against it. And I don't think it would mind it. I just don't know. That does knock off a match for other wrestlers to get on the show. That's the only thing I would find that to be a downfall. So
yeah, I think this
But to me also, WrestleMania matches, we should not have 10 or 11 matches on the card. Like I remember WrestleMania 21 was I think it was only 7 matches, and that was it. That way they don't have to worry about canceling a match or, putting them off the card. It should be a special night, and only certain wrestlers should be on it, personally.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing about WrestleMania 30 is you're going to want to create a moment that lasts in time, and that's something that they are going to try to do. I can see that they unify the championships soon. I wouldn't mind if they did it at TLC and got it out of the way at TLC because the ladder match concept is pretty cool. We've never seen it done this way before. We've only seen it unified 1 time. So I think this is a good way to do it. However, whoever the champion is going to be needs to be a guy that the fans want to see lose the championship at WrestleMania. Now, I'm going to take all this criticism of WWE and I'm going to make it very simple for you right now. What's happening here is fans are getting sick of seeing John Cena and Randy Orton at the top of the card. Okay? That's what the internet fans, they're just sick of it. And I understand that. I get it. However, these 2 men have had such longevity at the top of the card that there's no reason to not put them in this caliber of a match. If you put anybody else in this spot, it just wouldn't feel as big. If this match, and don't get me wrong, I love both wrestlers, but if this match was Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk to unify the championship, it just would not feel as big. It wouldn't. There's no way it would. There isn't that large amount of championships held by both men, and there isn't that long time history. Nobody gives a shit about what they did in Ring of Honor. Let's be honest. So what I'm seeing happening here is Randy Orton win this championship at TLC in obviously another screwjob fashion. I think Randy Orton wins. The Authority gets involved. They screw over Cena, whatever the case may be. I don't think Cena is going to be involved in that championship picture if Randy Orton gets the unified belt, there might be a rematch at the Royal Rumble. Hell, he might even be involved in Elimination Chamber. I think he'll chase it, but I don't think he'll be in a match at WrestleMania. I truly believe, and you guys might not believe me here, but I really believe that Daniel Bryan and or CM Punk, one of the two guys, is being set up for just greatness at WrestleMania. It might even be both, because I want to see Daniel Bryan get his hands on Triple H finally and have that big match on the big stage where he can tap out Triple H and get the biggest win of his career. And I wouldn't mind seeing a main event for the WWE title of Randy Orton versus CM Punk, with Randy Orton putting Punk over for this unified championship. Then everybody will be happy, you know, and you could give Cena anywhere on the card. Cena doesn't always need to be involved in the championship picture. That's just the way it is with John Cena. He doesn't have to be involved. He's big enough star to not be involved in that all the time. So I think that everybody should calm down and just wait and see what happens. There's no reason to just jump to conclusions and think that WWE is trying to stick it fans that have been there for 20 years, because that's not what they're doing. They are doing what they feel is right, and they're putting a guy, and all this shit matters, okay? The amount of Facebook likes they have, or Twitter followers, or web searches, all that stuff matters. It's not just the reaction in the live crowd anymore, because the majority of people that go to wrestling shows are these internet smarks. Although they don't want to admit it, they're the ones that get the good seats at WWE shows, and they're going to boo Cena, and they're going to cheer Daniel Bryan, they're going to chant yes, and they're going to, do whatever with CM Punk. So that's the thing. John Cena, 5 million Twitter followers. Daniel Bryan, 1 million Twitter followers. Randy Orton, 3 million. CM Punk, 2 million. So that tells you right there. All that kind of stuff matters. And, we'll see what happens at TLC, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think WWE knows that the future is in these guys I mentioned, Punk, Bryan, and you could even go down the line, Ambrose, Reigns, Rollins, Big E Langston. All these guys are going to have key matches at WrestleMania